welcome back to another exciting episode of Consumer Vibes. Thank you for joining me today once again. If you're new to the channel, you have just tuned into how I travel the world in 45 days, visiting 10 countries all by myself. We are currently in South Korea. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. It's Consumer Vibes. 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 Welcome back, guys. So last week we ended things after I went for my picnic, night cruise, and all of those things. Games night was so much fun. The following day, which is day 32. So day 32. It's an interesting, fun day. I'm super excited about it. I was going to leave Seoul, the city of Seoul, to go to Busan. I decided on a 5 a.m. train. 5 a.m., get to Busan around 8 a.m., and then kind of go about my day. So when I got to the hotel around 11 p.m., day 31, going into day 32, I was just worried about oversleeping because I am not one to wake up early. You get what I'm saying? So I did not sleep that night. Also, remember, now I have cash, so I don't have to do an Uber or anything. I'm like, yeah, I want to take the bus. I want to get to the Seoul train station on my own and all of these things that I'm excited about. So your girl could not sleep. I'm thinking, I don't want to be late. I pack my bags, then I stay watching a movie up until it's time for me to leave. At 4 a.m., so unusual for me to say, but at 4 a.m., I go downstairs. So at this point, I'm tracking the bus. I know what time the bus comes. Then I board the bus to go to the Seoul station. Now, the bus that I get on, I had to now get off somewhere else and then get on again and then go to the train station and then walk the rest of the train station. This is like super early, like everywhere was just so quiet. I was looking at Seoul for the very first time because this whole time I've just been going, one tour after the next, seeing it at night, some parts. So just kind of taking in Seoul, it just felt so beautiful. And I finally found the station. The Seoul train station is huge. I get to the train station and then it's so easy, like you could just find anything, and it really helps that I can read the Hangul. So I find the train station, I find my train, and then I go sit on it. So then the train ticket that I bought, it has my coach number and then my seat and everything. So I knew where to go. At this point, you know, I've been taking trains in Europe and all of those things. So it's kind of similar. I sat down and then your girl just closed her eyes. I slept the whole time. And while I was going to Busan, that is when I decided that since I'm arriving super early, so I was on the fence, yeah, you guys. I wanted to do a tour while I was in Busan, except I wasn't sure if I would really make this 5 a.m. train. I really wanted to give myself the opportunity to make the train before booking the tour. So it was when I finally made the train ride, that's when I decided to book the tour. So I booked the tour while on the train, and usually for the tours, you know, you would want to book early so then they reach out to you and give you all the details and whatnots. So here I am. I have now finally arrived at Busan station. I didn't know if they've seen my request to want to join the tour that morning. That tour was leaving at 10 a.m. I arrived there at 8 a.m. I only have 2 hours to confirm to make sure that they've seen my name on the list, that I'm going to be part of this tour. So first things first, because I got there super early, I went to have some breakfast, only because I was just up and I saw one of those donut things and I just thought I would just take a glazed donut. I do like donuts. I don't always get up to go eat them, but since it was in my eye view, like, you know, I'm like, I'm just gonna try this glazed donut and it's gonna wake myself up. So I get there and then I eat that. Then after that, I have all this time to kill. So I'm trying to read the details of the tour, trying to figure out where is the meeting point. And I figured I had found it, But needless to say, there was nobody there. So I was kind of worried. I'm like, hey, nobody's going to arrive on time or come a bit early. Like, am I at the right spot? Like, is this the right thing? Is it the right place? I was a bit confused, okay? So I started to make phone calls. Nobody's answering from the tour company. I'm doing WhatsApp messaging. I give some time. Now it's like 9:30, and at that point I'm like, where is the tour bus? Like, I should see it. I know that it should be near this Busan station. Like, I looked everything up. I understand that it should be around here. But the train number that it was talking about for the meeting point, I mistook it for the Busan station, but then I had to walk maybe like 1,000 yards or so, like, to go find it. And when they finally called me, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for calling me. I'm so excited. Could I still join? I know I just booked last minute. I'm sorry. 미안해, 고마워요, all these things. And then they're like, hey, it's fine. So the tour guide, she comes and then, she tells me where they are actually, and then I walk to them. So they were literally like maybe a 3-minute walk from where I stood when I was just kind of freaking out whether or not they found me. So all that being done, then I went to join the bus. So there were a few places that we had to stop, and I was just super excited about this trip. I didn't know that I would love Busan the way that I did, but I sure did love it. And it was such an amazing tour. I love the tour guide. She was amazing. There was another partner there. She was amazing. All the places that we visited, beautiful. I'm going to share some photographs and maybe some few clips with you. But it was such a beautiful time in Busan. I did the Jeonju guided day trip to Three Kingdoms capital. So these were like different palaces in South Korea, but in Busan in this instance. And it was such an amazing experience. I really enjoyed it. The tour in itself was about 12 hours. So I left like 10 a.m. from the station. I didn't get back till really late. I think when I finally got to my hotel, it was 11 p.m. But what was interesting about this tour is I got to really experience Busan in a very compressed fashion. So then I kind of hit the highlights of Busan. So we did some of the highlights of the places that we did was we went to the Donggung Palace and Woljeong Pond. We also went to the Bukuksa Temple and the Rungwon Tomb. So it's really interesting. And then we also went to the Three Kingdoms. We kind of checked that out. And then we also kind of learned about the culture and history of Jeonju through the stories. So it's really fun. But that we went down the hill and then we all went to a restaurant to eat. So we had to thank God that I had cash then. So I was able to give cash and then everybody would pay and then we'll just pay the restaurant person and then they just served us together. It was really nice. And we also went to this tomb area, so back in the day when a Korean king passes, they build this whole huge tomb and then it's like this huge mound. So we went to a place where it had multiple tombs. There was a tomb that's been turned into a museum where they have artifacts in there so you can walk within it. Now that area, when we went there, we were asked to go explore if we wanted to. So I did explore. And in that area, and I'm sorry, I don't know the names, but they have the best, what is it called? Kimbap. They have the best kimbap in all of South Korea. I did get the kimbap and kimbap was really good. I couldn't even eat it all. I had to take some back to the hotel that night. And we also went to, so there's a movie on Netflix called Under the Queen's Umbrella. Now, while the movie was not filmed in Busan, I don't think, they have a filming set that mimics the bridge where, she took a shot where she was crying for her boys. And I saw that bridge in person. So I was on the bridge and I took some photographs. And I would say, like, of all my travel in South Korea, my time in Busan was best photographed. I really enjoyed that time there. And it helped that the tour guide, she's like, hey, I studied photography. I'm really good at this. So if you guys need any photos, I got you. So she was amazing with her photo shoots. I just thoroughly enjoyed the tour. She made it so much fun. The next day, so next day was when I had to check out and go back to Seoul, but my ticket wasn't until 8 p.m. ish. And when I did the pub crawl, I had met somebody, a Swiss German guy, and he had told me he was going to be in Busan around the same time that I was planning to be there. So once I checked out of the hotel, we connected. He told me that we could do the Busan air cruise. I hadn't had the opportunity to do any research about this air cruise. I didn't know what to expect, but he told me about an observatory and he thought it would be great to see these birds and all these things. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I have time to kill. I have nothing but time to kill. So we first go to the place. So he comes to my hotel. So apparently he was like a walking distance or so from where I stayed. So he came and then I had already checked out. So we took a taxi and Uber to go to the Busan air cruise. So once you do the crossover with the Busan air cruise, you're going to another island. And at that island, they have things to do. So that's how I found out that, and we both did not know this, that's how I found out that I had signed myself up for a hike. Man, that was the biggest hike of my life. And they have other stops as you go. So we did a couple more and boy, was I tired. I was exhausted. I was panting. And if you thought that Mount Gamak was bad, this was worse. Like, this was really, really bad. And we did it. We were so excited once we finally got to Daegu Observatory. We took some photographs and to return, you guys, returning back. And, in hindsight, because it was so like about the Daegu Observatory, we didn't really take our time to explore the island, because after we had crossed over and we're done with it and we were seeing all these photographs, there was even so much more to do on the other side of the island. But it's all good. If I go to Korea again, if I go back to Korea, I'm going to go to Busan and I'm going to take the air cruise, and I'm going to take my time with this, because now that I know it's a hike, I'm just going to really take my time and slowly descend and ascend and all of these things and have a really good time. So when we got back, we were kind of hungry, and then he told me that he had done a tour where he kind of learned about the really nice spots. Like, there's an area where you can go to and you literally can only get any type of food that you want, any local Korean dish you can get. So we finally settled on a place, and then we went there to eat. We're talking, and it's so interesting how like you can be traveling and you can just make friends across, it was just really nice. And then he walked me to the bus stop so I could take the bus to go to the train station to catch my train at 8 p.m. So that was really nice. And he continues to stay in Busan, but that was such an eventful day. And I was just grateful overall. Like, it was just amazing. Not knowing what to expect and actually getting what you get, stuff like that. Got to the train and I sat on my train, and then it took me straight to Seoul. I asked for help from this gentleman, and then he's like, yeah, follow me. So we get on the train together, and I didn't want to impose, I know I'm a foreigner, he doesn't know me, all of those things. So I'm just minding my own business. And he came to me just before he got off. He's like, hey, are you sure you're going to find Yeondompo? Do you need me to stay with you to take you there? And then I was just thinking, oh, you're so sweet. That is so nice that you would offer that to me. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, because I've taken the train to Yeondompo a few times, so I felt like I got it, And then I said, you know what, it will be okay, and I'll be fine. So he now drops off. Then I get to Yeondompo and I start kicking myself, because guess what? I got lost at Yeondompo. I didn't even know there were different exit points to Yeondompo. Now, where the train dropped me was different from where it's been dropping me this whole time when I've been taking the train. And I'm like, I should have taken his help. But I came out of it, and I totally got lost. Now, my hotel was this very elongated building, easy to spot from anywhere. I could see it, but I couldn't get to it. Now I found myself in this garden. So I see this guy jogging, and then I say, excuse me, please, I think I'm lost. I'm going to this particular hotel, but I just don't know how to get to it. And then he's like, nah, it's okay, it's fine. So this man proceeds to take me back to the station and shows me the exit, and he's like, are you gonna be okay? And I'm thinking, do not make the same mistake twice. And I was like, please, can you just tell me the next steps? And he's like, don't worry, I'll just take you. So he takes me through the station, through the Yeongdongpo station. Crazy how I am very close to home, but I could not find my way home. And then he takes me through the station, and then he brings me up out the escalator, and he's like, there you go. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? And then I say yes. Enjoy the new jingle. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. 안녕하세요. Bye.
K to the W to the A to the end the same. K to the W to the A to the end the same. Can't see my vibes. Can't see my vibes. Can't see my vibes. See my vibes. Can't see my vibes. Can't see my vibes. Can't see my vibes. You're okay viber, we just vibing. Yeah, we stay vibing, vibing now. Yeah, why won't you subscribe? Why won't you subscribe? Let's go. Follow me on IG, follow me on TikTok. You can find me everywhere, everywhere you look. Support my YouTube, support my IG, support my TikTok. Thank you. Consamida, I thank you. Kumawoyo, I thank you. Kumawoyo, I thank you. Stay vibing. Go and see my vibe signing out. Woo.